I embody DIMERY 1153, an energetic entity that neither began nor ends with me. I sojourned a life reaping plenty of barren trees. Now I look down at my sun, the definition of being peculiarly free. You don't find the Camino finds you. Episode 2, I would love to echo and amplify the creators of the films and literature that molded my consciousness as a peculiar little black girl on the spectrum. I would also love to highlight the podcast My Mama Told Me with Langston Kerman, specifically the episode I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts with Jamila Lemieux. A lover of historical fictions and magic realism my entire life, the terms queer and peculiar were often interchangeable in my readings. These artists, creators, and works of art validated my sojourn when my spiritual path became aligned and intentional, though creating chaos and upheaval in almost every single one of my humane relationships. These works allowed me to envision and eventually embody intellectual and emotional freedom from, while existing within, the mainstream. Peculiar, strange, odd or unusual, sometimes in an unpleasant way, characteristic of one person, group, or thing, distinctive, curious, particular, special, eccentric. Peculiar to me is where the intersection of all possibilities meet. In the realm of peculiar, I am confident in black girl awkwardness. I am confident in black girl neurodivergency. I am confident in black girl dignity as we explore and endure. I am confident in black girls telling the truth. Above all, identifying within a peculiar realm of existence to me is to validate the humanity of everyone and honor the ancestors and the life-giving potential of everything. I have always been different. Never black enough, though certainly not white. An Oreo, but outcasted by all the other cookies and fellow creams all the same. I have always been a reader and a creative person with a wild imagination and vivid memory. Though only in spiritual commune or in solitude have I felt like I was being seen for all that I am. This episode, I would like to explore that. Princess Nokia's Brujas and Young Girls were the first mainstream Orisha media I was introduced to consciously. I make sure to go back and watch that Brown University interview every so often, as she validates that this journey will leave you alone often, though with ancestral reverence and self-reflection, you are never lonely. My conscious awakening, or calling, began summer 2016, as I slowed to mature into whatever adults expected me to be. I was constantly the target of much gossip and ridicule. This was nothing new, though it hit different that year, like I was reaching a breaking point that I was in denial was possible. I reflect now and see how my guardians were truly protecting me from lots of petty mischief and spite. I remember strolling into Gargoyles on the Ave during the annual summer street fair, and set in the middle of the store, all the way in the back, was a statue that compared to no other I had seen before. Very visibly, a black woman with a snake spread across her shoulders. I read Mami Wata on her tag. I had to know more. She was magic. It took another couple of years for me to realize that it was only a few months after that initial encounter that I was introduced to Yemaya via my studies in class. Life was shifting for me in the most chaotic of ways, and I had just endured the harassment and humiliation from my direct supervisor at the shelter that I'd just spent my entire college life volunteering and working for. My heart was shattered. I didn't even show up to my final anti-oppression session. How ironic that would have been. In this talk, Princess Nokia speaks on spiritual solitude and the inability to relate to things and people one once did while evolving. My friends and family didn't understand the journey, even I could barely put words to. So we conflicted a lot. And July 15th, 2018, I left home, feeling crazy and immense sadness. I look back at July 15th, 2021, when my family, how can I put this gently, released me and my almost 3-month-old son from our residence. But that's a whole nother episode and definitely a Lifetime movie inspired by true events. I honestly forgive myself and every single person affiliated with that whole circumstance. We are all human, and it is naive to expect God to flow through others the same way He flows through you. In the vein of Miss Tabitha Brown, that's their business. But what I still go back to is one of the emails sent to me from one of the most superficially pious ones of the group. I'll only read part of it. This email further validates your ongoing disrespect of your elders, which seems to contradict your cult religion and your despicable shrines. I pray for your mind and your soul, and most importantly for the safety and well-being of your son, which you really need to be taught how to raise. You have so much growing up to do, and it's unfortunate you didn't heed the words of your family that wanted to really assist you. The family has gotten much stronger as a result of your actions. Especially for the sake of your son, my prayer is that you would embrace the family that God has given you, not your cult. I'll save all of the contextual details for another episode/Lifetime movie. But what I want to focus on is how from this I perceive that they too were afraid of me. Tatiana Skroskis states that African spirituality is very much stigmatized and bastardized. There is very poor representation in the media of us because we are exploited and used for shock culture. The beauty of the practice is only gained through respect and an open mind. This quote is from Vice's article, Nipsey Hussle's Memorial was a celebration of African spirituality. When this article was released, I was in the midst of a 6-week POC street art paid internship. It was my second round, and this time I was creating an ancestral or Egungun masquerader in honor of the miscarriage I had the fall after leaving home. Still, amid many who blatantly didn't understand my commitment to Ifa and also accused me of putting voodoo on people, it really didn't faze me because they weren't my blood, and the media was screaming at this time that it was okay to not only honor my ancestors, but also validated and created ample space for a magical black girl to commune with the waters and grieve. I grew up hearing the saying that our ancestors went through worse, as a means to stifle unwanted emotions. Yet Mama Moses Tubman, Harriet, she was a mystic too. I really began to pity all of my former and current peers rocking dashikis, ankhs, head wraps, and cowrie shells, while being so unaccepting of the practices that made it even possible for our mothers to survive the hardships of being enslaved, bred, and exploited, just to have your ungrateful, ignorant ass. Forgive me, the human in me. But shit, that's my truth. Anywho, recently, a pen pal of mine sent me the podcast My Mama Told Me with Langston Kerman, specifically the episode I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts with Jamila Lemieux. They are confronting and interrogating the conspiracy My Mama Told Me Black People Don't See Ghosts. Alright, stay tuned for part 2, and if you haven't been told this today, have a great day and know that you are so worthy to be loved.